Well, welcome everybody to the 2019 National Signing Day Azusa Pacific Football Press Conference. My name is Joe Reinch. I'm the Sports Information Director. I've had the joy of working with the football coaching staff the last couple of weeks preparing for this, and then just a really exciting day for them to see all their hard work pay off with these 15 students who decided to continue their education at Azusa Pacific. So before I introduce head coach Victor Santa Cruz, I just want to recap the season that we just came off of, 2018, an 8-4 season. The Cougars made their second playoff appearance in the last 3 seasons, won their 4th GNAC title in the last 6 years, and have claimed their 6th consecutive academic team championship in the GNAC, and a 3.05 fall team GPA, which would put them in position to contend for a 7th straight GNAC academic championship. So as we get into this signing class, there's 15 names that Coach Santa Cruz is going to talk about, and I'm excited to hear about them. So, Coach Santa Cruz.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you, Joe, for all you do to help support us and get the word out for Azusa Pacific. You know, finished my 18th season here on staff, my 13th overall as the head football coach, and I always go back to 2001 when I first stepped on this campus, and there was a reason for it. And it was a reason to make a difference, and I think it's why this school exists. And this university is got tremendous people, tremendous mission, and while we are far from perfect, every day these 18 years has been challenging and fun for me to be able to go to work with the kind of people that want to make things better, want to be around people who desire for a bigger future, and also to not just live life, not just acquire things, but to make a difference in this life and make a difference and have a legacy behind them, which the school is striving to do. And so, as we talk today, I think with these 15 young men that we were fortunate to sign and welcome to the One Blood football family, they're going to show through that they fit us. They fit that mission. They're young men with vision. They're young men who have families and support systems that believe in them, and young men who come from very hard times that maybe you wouldn't say they shouldn't have been able to achieve what they have, but I tell you what, they're warrior young men, and we're excited to bring them on board. Something like this you don't do it on your own. Something like this it's the ideal definition of collaboration, and it takes a lot of people to attract the type of young men we were able to sign, but to have the kind of football program that we have, to have the success we've had as a football program. Having football is tremendously special, and it's rare, particularly in California, and to be able to do it at the level we do it, it takes a lot of people and God's good graciousness to help us achieve what we're doing. And so I want to basically thank the board first and foremost for the vision they set, the leadership, the tempo they set for us, the administrative leadership that they that cover us and continue to direct us and continue to help us get better. I want to particularly thank the leadership of this department, Gary Pine, a tremendous athletic director, someone that everybody's fortunate to work with in this department, one who believes in you, supports you, and always makes it a lot of fun to be around. His right-hand person, Diane Baruth, who she was in there since day one for me as a young coach, now an older coach with graying hair, and she's made my job that much easier, and she's a tremendous. Peyton Williams, Jacqueline Freeman in our compliance. There are no better people for this industry or this school and what they do for our compliance department. They're always there to help find a way to support me and support our staff so that the ideas and everything we have can be the best ideas possible to make this program what it is. Heather Ham in our financials, she's outstanding in the work ethic she puts forward, and she does the job of many people, and there's not a day that goes by that we aren't grateful for what she does in this and for this university, particularly us athletics. Carly Buys, she is outstanding. She's a leader. She's someone who is just well thought out, and she gives us the information timely. She's a liaison for admissions. I know the amount of information we dump on her and have to have her process while she could complain, she doesn't, and she just says we'll get it done. So we're really grateful for her. Paul Flores, he is our our faculty representative for athletics. Paul was great in this whole recruiting process. He took time out of his day to speak with potential recruits or potential signees, able to share how the faculty side of things, able to share how we support athletics here, and also be able to share his story of his own son going through the program. It was always great to spend time with Paul. the compliance committee and everything for they do. I also want to thank just the donors who helped to fund the recruiting budget and who are the donors who help support us as a football program. Jesse Copps and his whole athletic training staff. I also want to just thank Joe, you again, and Nelly Salgado for all the work she does to help us in this recruiting process. A lot of behind-the-scenes things happen, and there's not a day goes by there isn't a lot of people trying to make this football program better. And the people I'm really great, the tip of the spear of where it happens is the coaching staff. And I know Richard Brown, our recruiting coordinator, he did a fantastic job as a recruiting coordinator. I think in this day and age, 2019 is probably one of the hardest jobs there are in a college football staff. And he took the job on. He also coached our wide receivers. And there's a huge data flow that he has to manage and has to facilitate. And he did outstanding with it. And so he's helped bring together one of our best classes, and a class that answers our questions, what we need to do. Rudy Carlton, our offensive coordinator, Cesar Rivas, our defensive coordinator, Will Rodriguez, our special teams coordinator, Kyle Kiampo, our defensive assistant, Josh Thompson, our tight ends coach, Manako Tuifua, our D-line coach, Bo Beatty, our Whips and Bandits coach, Nate Nasker, our strength coach, Marquise Cooper, newly acquired, helped out with recruiting, now helping the corners, Jackie Slater, our O-line coach, and Brett Charleston, our equipment manager. And all these men every day do more than they would ever be accommodated for when it comes to their effort. Any time of day you ask them for help, they'll help you. And and they put that first-class effort together. So we have these players here are coached by some tremendous people. I think the kind of coaches that every one of them, when the parents brought their young man to the campus and they had a chance to meet the coaches, I think they left feeling, I know I can trust my young man with this coaching staff. They're going to be mentored by them. They're going to be cared for. They're going to be looked after. Every guy we sign, everybody we coach, while we have a big vision for their life, we also know at the end of the day we're going to treat them like our own. Particularly this class coming in, some things I really want to highlight is that we'll have 15. So we're going to announce. We got a few more in the hopper that we'll announce over the next few days. But right now, these 15 we're going to announce. 10 of them are traditional. 5 of them are transfers. Out of those 10 traditionals, the average GPA is 3.45 GPA of those traditional guys. Underclasses coming in. Our mid-year transfers is a 3.07 GPA. So when we talk about identifying our kind of guy, we're talking about somebody who says it has the academic performance history that can handle the rigor of our university. You know, when you get a degree from Azusa Pacific University, you're getting a degree from a high academic institution that's influential not only just the Western region but the entire world. And so it's going to take somebody who has their academics in order, somebody who says, hey, I want more than just football. I am trying to make a difference in life. And so the young men that we kept sitting through and interviewing with, we'd always walk away and say, does he have a vision for his life? Is he somebody who's a bigger thinker? And that's what we want here. So I think about my own self being recruited. I know when we talk about these young men, there's a bigger story behind them. And I remember in 89 now, being a senior in high school, before all the social media that these guys have to handle, just going through the recruiting process, understand my own parents sitting there and just the heaviness that it had, that they just want, this is a big decision for them. And for a lot of the young men here, they're in my shoes too. They're going to be the first to graduate college in their entire family in the same way I was. I'm a first generation college student, and I'm the first to graduate my entire bloodline. Now, in all that, I understand, and we've talked to them, this is more than just a decision. This is a life they're choosing, and there's a giant fork in the road. And I'm reminded by one of the books I've read over time by Stephen Pressfield, and The Gates of Fire. And there's a chapter in the very beginning where a young man has to make a decision as he escaped for his freedom. Do I go to Athens or do I go to Sparta? And he says, I'm going to Sparta because that's where they make men. These young men that we're signing, they want to do something with their life. And I keep repeating it over and over, but we're more than football here. We are a curriculum. We are a mentoring. We are transformational. When you spend over 20 hours a week with these athletes, it isn't just football. It's us providing the academic support. It's us providing the mentorship, the leadership. It's us providing the discipleship. It's us providing the leadership, so that now you say, okay, these young men who come and the 100 that we have on our roster, You've gone through a curriculum. And today's day and age, it's so hard to get a young man's attention. And if you want to change behaviors, you got to change your attitude. Before you can change the attitude, you got to get their attention. Football gets people's attention. Football gets people's attention when it comes to the outside coming in, but particularly football gets the attention of these young athletes. And so every man I hire to coach them, every person that's associated with them, is going to be about, hey, how do we use that attention to make you that much better? We believe that God envisioned them to be young warrior men. Give them the DNA for it. We want them to grab that. So before we go into announce them and start talking, I get to brag about these guys. I do want to give a special shout out to Domenico's, who was so supportive at all of our with their food throughout the recruiting process. I also want to say thank you to Village Eatery. Don did a great job of every Friday morning except to helping us out, and I do want to thank Enterprise of Glendora for all they do to help us facilitate this whole big process. Now, on to these young warriors. I'm going to start off with John Avila-Burgueno. John is going to play O lineman for us, and John is what you would call a physical young man. We recruited him out of high school, and we were able to catch up with him at the College of the Desert. John's a young man. He's going to have still 3 years to play with us, and now for him, what's going to end up happening is we'll ask him to be a center. We'll ask him to also play guard, but he's a smart young man, really smart coming out of that Palm Desert area, and he's going to bring the kind of physicality, as you see on the film, that we need. We believe in running the football here. We believe the O-line is an integral part of winning football. Jackie's done a great job of helping us understand that. And so you're going to see in this class, we did our due diligence to make sure we brought in a strong O-line class. Moving on to Rayvon Benson. Rayvon is out of Morris High School in San Diego. Rayvon is going to play corner for us. And on his trip, I think what I enjoyed the most with him is just his competitive attitude. Had a chance to watch him play Madden with one of the other players, and he did not win, but he kept trying to play to make sure that he could find a way to win. So Rayvon's big smile and his attitude of just having fun, it's going to go well with our group. If you can see on film, is that Rayvon's the kind of guy that when the ball's in his hand, he's dangerous. He's got that breakaway speed. He's got those instincts, and he understands in space how to make sure that he is a high performer. Moving on to Jesus Dave Garcia. He's going to play offensive tackle for us. He attended Banning High School in Wilmington, California. Jesus is 6'5", 300 pounds. And you say with Jesus, he came on his trip. You watch, you see, I think he's got some prototypical next level body type of him. He's got very long arms. He's still got a long ways to grow. That 300 pounds is still not even developed as fully as it can be. And so one of the things I like with his feet is that he has a quick step. He's able to move that large body, and he's able to get downfield on the screenplay. Having a guy who's 6'5", 300 that can get in space and find the blockers downfield is going to be, it's really a special skill set that he has. He's got a very bright future with us here at Azusa Pacific. Moving on to our next one is Jasim Goodall. Jasim is a interior D lineman from St. Bernard. He's 6'1", 295. He played 4 seasons of varsity football there at St. Bernard. What I loved about him having breakfast is just hearing him and saying how his engineering, he wants to be an engineer here. He's looking forward to one day interviewing with NASA, hopefully. He's a young man who's just a lot of fun to be around, his big smile. But you can see when he plays football, he is very disruptive, and he's got a great first step. He's got a natural with his hands to be able to be explosive, and take the large man like he is. We want to be able to occupy interior gaps with him. We believe in having some speed at linebacker, but a big body type like Justine is going to make sure that he can occupy that and let the other guys run. He's going to force a double team all the time, and that's what I like about him. But more importantly, he's once again another high GPA young man, and he's going to fit in great with our group. All right. Moving on here now is that we have Zach Martin, and Zach is a defensive back at Long Beach. He'll be playing the field corner for us. He played at Milliken High School. He's 5'9", 170. He spent 3 years on their varsity team. And big fun fact for Zach is that I enjoy, he said in his spare time, he coaches flag football for the young guys. And so he loves the game. He loves giving back. Another high GPA student athlete. When you see him, he's just got great ball skills, ball awareness. He's great in space. He's able to make the one cut and go. When interceptions happen for Zach, he's going to find a way to get that thing returned as best as he can. He's a physical young man, loves to tackle. And more importantly, I think for Zach, he's someone who will do well in the classroom, but really compete well at the field corner position for us. You got all of our defensive backs that we bring in have to play man coverage. It's our philosophy here at Azusa Pacific is that you've got to be able to pressure. You've got to be able to play man coverage this day if you want to win football games. And so we always say, hey, if you can't play man, you can't play defense. And so for us, he fits that bill. Moving on next to Emilio Padilla Chavez. Emilio comes out to Monte Vista Christian. Thankful for one of us. We had one of our former coaches there is now on staff at Monte Vista, Ryan Vandenheuvel. And we were able to find the connection, and I really do appreciate our alumni out there throughout the whole Western region that would send us contacts. It's our desire to really try to get into every high school there is in California, but with the staff we have, we're relying on also our contacts and our alumni eyes and ears out there to feed us the information. And Coach Vandenheuvel sent us Emilio, and you see the young man, he fits the bill for us. He's a large interior offensive lineman for us. He plays center, he plays guard. But it's the downfield, he always is finishing to the echo of the whistle. He loves to play physical. And our offensive line is the goal of it to be the most physical group there is in the entire Division II. And what we have learned in our time being in the playoffs is that when you get to that next level playoff is that you better be big, you better be physical in the trenches. And this group coming in is helping us solve some of those issues. All right, going on now to local Charter Oak product is Aaron Ramirez. Aaron is 6'4", 290, and for Aaron, I think he epitomizes what Jackie always preached, is that, hey, this is a solid big man that can move, and he is nasty in the trenches. But I really appreciate about him with his family, and I appreciate about the end, when I sat down with Aaron at the end of his visit, was he said to me, Coach, I can see myself being a better man here. And that's what you want to have. That's a right fit. That's a right fit for Azusa Pacific. That's a big-time win for our university. And so coming out of local Charter Oak, where it's exciting, is that because you respect their program and all that Coach Dom does down there, they know how to win. They know how to produce competitive football players, and I think Aaron's got a chance to compete right away for us. Moving on next to Pacifica High graduate and is Armando Sifuentes. Armando comes out of Oxnard, 6'3", 303. Tell you, he's one of those big vision guys. When we talked about is that, and essentially in terms of a two-way lineman, is that he's by far the best lineman that the coach at Pacifica High said he's coached there, and so Coach Moon spoke so highly of Armando, and when you watched him on film, you could see it. The kid's got good feet. He's physical. And the thing I loved about Armando the most is that when once again, you get to know these guys on the visit, is that he's a family guy. He's seen himself saying, hey, how do I have a long-term vision? And he understands that a degree from Azusa Pacific is going to help him achieve not only football, but it's going to help achieve those long-term career goals that he's looking for. Moving on next is we're going into Justin Skidmore. Probably, having played linebacker in college, is one of my favorite guys over the years to be able to sign. At Grace Brethren, we just won the state title for their division. That's the 2A championship. They are 14-2. They won the Community League 4-0. He essentially is just making tackles all the time. And you can see he's got a one-step explosiveness. He's 6'4", he's 200 pounds. He's long. He fits our Mike position. He fits our whip position. He just fits us defensively. For Justin, he was coached by one of the APU greats, Josh Henderson, who's now the head coach there at Grace Brethren. And if Josh puts his stamp of approval on, then we know he's tough enough to play for us. So Justin's a guy who, once again, we can see him playing on teams for us. We can see him challenging right away to get on the field, and all these guys too. We said at the end of the day of their visit, hey, can you be okay with trying to compete right away? If we had that stare back at us, like they didn't want it, and we probably moved on. But if they looked at us like that pit bull near a steak, they said, hey, that's our kind of guy, that competitiveness. All right, moving on. Next one is Michael Zenner. Michael is out of Pasadena from LaSalle High School. Coach Buys used to be on staff with us and just took it over as the head coach of LaSalle. He's already producing college talent. And so I know Coach Buys will do an amazing job there. But Michael Zenner comes in at 6'5", 255 pounds. He's got tremendous length to forecast for us to be a great tackle here. Michael is he's very familiar with our school too, in that he had his older brother Alex had played for us. And so we've been tracking Michael for quite a while. All in all, for him, he's a total athlete, and I can look at him and say, hey, you have the frame for us to play tackle and have a bright future here. Moving on now to our mid-year transfers. These are gentlemen who have already come in, and I'm really proud right now of the effort and the heart that our team has. I think going off of the January meeting that we have, our first team meeting, our guys are no way satisfied. They're hungrier than ever. They've tasted what it is now of just making sure how they get in the playoffs, and then in the last game of the season left a pretty bitter taste in their mouth. And so they're hungry, and they're showing the weight room and how they're working out. And so coming in this year from the Puente area is Tim Dolan. We got him out of Mount Sac, and Tim's 6'5", 300 pounds. He can play all the interiors. If we have to, we can move him to guard. He helped the Mount Sac offense score 35 points per game. He was a key piece on offense that averaged 412 yards a game. And so he went to Bishop Amonte. And so for Tim, you can see from his footwork, you can see from his physicality and his pace of pulling, we know that Tim's a guy that's going to help us win some football games next year. Grabbing another running back, Gil Scott Jackson. He came out of Ventura College, and he's a Oaks Christian product as well. Gil Scott, 5'10", 200. For Gil, we want to be able to run the football. You can see from the film is that when Gil's in space, he can make you miss, and he can burn you with his speed. So he's got a great one cut. He's got good vision, tremendous heart, great guy to be around. He's already proven himself to be a good teammate. For Gil's got a bright future for us, and we know as he continues to learn the playbook and get familiarized here, we're excited to see his talent showcase on our football field. Moving on to the D-line position is Damani Lowe. Damani is out of Stockton, and he went to American River College in Sacramento. American River, I appreciate what coaches do up there. They do a great job of coaching the kind of football players that are trying to take care of all things and trying to make sure that they can handle the academics and the football. So for Damani, 6'3", 255, we felt like he could be an interior guy and also play the end. He's got that motor, and he's got that natural space ability that we feel like that fits in really well with our defense. What we do defensively is very unique, and we're going to get a guy a one-on-one, and so we want him to make sure, hey, he can handle that with the get-off, and also can handle his hands, and make sure when it comes, make the offensive pay for him when you give him that, when you challenge him with only a one-on-one block. Coming out of Santa Barbara City College, is Lucas Ogiati. And Lucas, NorCal guy, Santa Barbara City College product. So what we liked on film with Lucas is he fits our space, how we play in space with our defense. Once again, we always say you got to be able to play man coverage on defense over here. And so for Lucas, he played the Sam position in the 4-3. But you saw he could play in space. You saw he can play man coverage, but you saw physicality and a quick twitchness about him and a size, because he's coming in at 6'1", 215, that he really fits our defense well. He's also a very good wrestler, and it shows up in his body control on the field when you watch the film that he's not afraid of competition, and he knows he's got great spatial awareness. Lastly, out of this list we're going to announce today is Damian Wright, DJ Wright, coming out of Salesian High School, but he just transferred in from Boise State. He was a three-star recruit, number 13 safety in the state of California in 2014. He graduated from with a bachelor's degree from Boise State with business management over the 3.2 GPA, excuse me. And DJ's got a couple years to play for us, and so we're excited what he brings to the table in our defense, how he could play all our secondary positions, as well as if we had to blitz him or bring him off the edge. DJ's got the intelligence and the athleticism to be able to be a real difference maker in our defense. So all in all, what we're looking for is that we're looking for a fit. We're looking for guys with vision, And we're looking for guys also to have the attitude, hey, we want to win right now. We want to get after it right now. And I think that's what we were able to solve with this recruiting class. Like I said, we have a few more coming in that we will announce over the next few days. And I know there's still some few to clean up as we go into the spring, and we go into spring ball starting in the end of January. So at that point, I want to thank again the university. I want to thank all the people who helped make this possible. Me being up here is just really the guy who gets to say thank you and announce what the great efforts that this university puts forward. So the parents that send their university here, send their children to this university, they can be sure of one thing: we're growing, we're getting better, we have our heart going in the right place. And while there are challenges, there's the heart behind it is every day, hey, we will get better, and the best is still ahead of us. And so with that, I'll take any questions.
Questions? Anyone?
Coach, I have one. With your playoff experience last year, how are you going to build on that for this upcoming season?
Yeah, that's a great question, because the experience is just that you learn from it. And so what we learned is that, and you saw from all of the offensive linemen we signed and the complementing defensive linemen, is that you have to be big in the trenches. You know, we're not a big transfer school. We usually go through the freshmen up. This year we had the opportunity to bring a few transfers in, but we want to make sure that the freshmen that we do bring in, or any interior guy we bring in, that he's going to be prepared and want to step into that physicality that happens on the playoffs level. So the best of the best there in that playoffs. And so you got to understand, the best of the best will always have a great D-line, O-line. And that's where we got to make sure we continue to get better at with us, with our program.
Coach, I've got one for you. So, first 5 or 6 guys that signed were offensive linemen. So were the lines a position goal for this class? How did you feel you met your goals to fill positions?
Yeah, well, our food budget just went out the window with that one too. So that's it. Got to fundraise more of that. We knew we had to get big, and we had graduated a lot of experience and over the last couple of years with offensive line, and we knew this was the year that if you track us a few years back, where we went into the 2015 signing class and 2016 signing class, where we were big on the O-line. So we want to make sure that we have to reload in that offensive line and know that, hey, to be able to score points, it starts with them. We want to be able to run the football. We want to protect the passer, and we're going to build it from the inside out.
Okay, I'll keep going on my list, and feel free to interrupt me if you have anything else. I want to know, it's kind of a two-part question. What attracted you to these particular students, and what do you think was attractive about APU for these students?
Yeah, well, I'll talk about us first. Our criteria, being now the only Division II football playing school in an entire state of California, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. It's a lot of, and now you say you want to play scholarship football in Southern California, there's only 4 schools, and we're one of those 4. So what attracted to us is, say, you have to be a fit, and we would get a lot of people sending and great intention people, and I love it, and a lot of great promising young athletes that would send us their film. We'd always want to look at the first thing is that let's look at your academics. If your academics weren't there, we'd have to pass, and we say, we needed that 3.0 of minimum above just to take a look at it and just keep moving. And then then we'd also go into now, okay, do you fit the measurables we're looking for at our positions? Coach Brown did a really good job of challenging the staff of saying, hey, what exactly do you want your position to look like? And he kept pressing, and it brought out some great conversations, and that helped us to be able to filter through all these promising young men that are out there. You want to sign more. I'll be honest, there's some hard decisions. We wanted to offer more people, but we had to be able to say there had to come a criteria. Coach Brown helped us with that. And then lastly, it was just, okay, are you a playmaker on the field? So you may have the measurables, you have the academics. In the field, could we say it was beyond a shadow of a doubt, you were more of a playmaker? And I think we've learned a lot through all the NFL scouts that come through every year, picking the brains of the scouts. And bottom line is they're always looking at great athletes. But they're always say, can you see this person differentiate themselves on the field? And that's what we had to bring that same criteria to us with that. No. Oh, second part, I'm sorry. I believe with that, and I don't want to put words in their mouth, but I'll echo what they told me, is they chose this place because they felt like it was a family atmosphere. They felt like they could trust us. They felt like the degree fit them. The options that we have as a university, they loved the location. They loved also the support that they felt from the administration. Coach Paul Flores, Paul Flores helped our student athlete, those prospects, understand there's an administrative support here as well, and our student to teacher ratio, and then also when on the campus, they could say they just feel a difference, that there was a genuineness about this whole place. So that I believe that ends up, at the end of the day, they're picking a home, not just facilities.
Got one question in from the Facebook stream. It's from Colin Magnuson. Coach Santa Cruz, what excites you and the coaching staff most about being the only Division II team in the state?
Well, it excites you is that we love our location. It's the greatest thing every day to go to work here. I mean, if we look outside, want to talk about facilities, we look outside, oh, there's some good facilities. The snow, the beach. But what excites us is that you've got a chance to take it on the grand stage. I mean, why did the Rams come back to Los Angeles? They came back because this is the best market there is. And football is your one way to attract people, attract eyeballs, all right? Call it what it may, but that's why the Rams are building a big stadium. They're already selling a ton of advertising. When you have football, eyeballs come to you, and money starts coming to you. Students start coming to you. All the things, you take football away, and it's like, well, what differentiates you? So it is one of those things that our university, and I'm very proud that they put it out there, and we do it in such a way that honors the mission, honors the people in here, and it's one of those things that students will say, I chose to go there because you have football. So I'm really excited about us being the only Division II football playing school in the entire state.
Okay, and then my last question for you, fast forward to September 7th, you're in Canyon, Texas. What are you most excited about? What are you most excited about with the team that you're going to be bringing there?
I believe this, the team that's going to get on that plane they're going to have a conviction about them that they love playing the game, they love each other, and we just know there's very few opportunities you ever get to play the game. And so I'm excited for those. They get to open a brand new stadium for West Texas A&M, and we're going to be we get to play on that field at first, and I think Azusa Pacific University has always had that attitude, is that we are piercing the darkness, we're the tip of the spear as a university, and what's happening is our football program is able to exemplify that, because we go anywhere in this country and we're not backing down from anyone, and we get to bring our method of how we teach, how we have a mission here, and how we play football. And I love, as a head coach, watching our guys play the game, because they do it with such a unique brand.
Great. And final question coming in from Facebook, from Carl Morgan. Do you expect these recruits to contribute on the field right away?
I'm going to challenge them to, Carl. I'm going to challenge them to play. I mean, we tell them this: if we invest in you, then we're expecting you to bring an effort that you want to help out, you want to contribute. No one on our team is just go for the ride. Whatever, first string, second, whatever you want to call that. If you have an AP helmet on, you're finding a way to contribute. You're finding a way to compete. And so I'm expecting all these young men to get to work tomorrow. You can have your one day today, but I expect tomorrow that same conviction that you spoke to me in my office is going to show up in your work ethic for going forward. And so I know we didn't make a mistake on these guys. And so, I'm expecting them to contribute and push the guys we do have right away.
Great. Well, thank you, Coach. Congratulations on another successful signing class.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.